there, this is Maker J11, and I am outside in the rain under a tarp working on my car. Yeah, it's not fun. So yeah, I guess I thought I'd bring you guys along and show you what's going on here. So this is my Volkswagen Golf 2001, and it's been overheating. Yesterday it started overheating when I was driving. Well, actually, I almost missed my one final exam because it overheated to the UPS store to return some books and other stuff that I had to take to the UPS store. So I was taking stuff there, and I was like, oh, I have an hour and a half before class. That should be perfect. So left there. It's about a 15-minute drive. Got there. On the way there, it was overheating. Temperature warning came on for the first time I've ever seen it on, and it kept getting higher and higher, and the temperature warning came on, and I was like, oh shoot. So I was like 2 minutes away from the post office, so I drove to the post office, and then when I got out of the post office, it was cooled off enough. I put a little bit more water in it, and that didn't help at all. So then what I did was, I thought, okay, it must be like the thermostat or something, because the coolant level was fine, so it wasn't leaking coolant. Placed a thermostat, that didn't fix it. It still overheated. Now, when it was overheating, I was still getting heat to the heater core. So I was like, it must be the thermostat, because the heater core would still get heat even if the thermostat stuck shut. So I replaced the thermostat yesterday. The heat inside and the radiator didn't work. So I was like, okay, it's still overheating. So I was like, all right, that's really weird. Apparently these Volkswagens have plastic impellers on the water pump, and apparently they self-destruct sometimes. Well, mine isn't self-destructed yet. It's still there, but it rotates freely, and that's on the timing belt. Like, that shouldn't rotate. So that is the problem. It rotates on, it's a plastic shaft, or it's a plastic impeller that's pressed onto a steel shaft that goes through to the timing belt. There you can see the end of the shaft. You can see the bronze round part there, the bronze collar. And then there's the plastic impeller around that. There you can see a blade of the impeller there. And that's another blade up there. And you can see it's like a knurled bronze piece there. And there's a couple of that right there is a crack. And there's another crack there. So it's about to self-destruct. That might be another crack there. So there's a couple cracks in it. It's pretty much shredded out. It's toast. So what am I gonna do? I wanna get back to Pittsburgh because this is the extent of my tools up here. This little tiny, very Chinesium, like $15 tool set. Yep, socket set. And then over here I've got this box of screwdrivers, hot glue gun, voltmeter, random things. Not the best for working on cars. Luckily though, I do have JB Weld. So we might be in business here. So I think what I'm gonna do, attempt at least, is basically just coat the end of that in JB Weld. What I've done so far is taken the thermostat housing off, obviously, plastic tube to drain all the coolant out that I could, because it doesn't really come out of there very easily. So I drained the coolant out all that I could. I cleaned it with alcohol to get any of the glycol solution off of there. Mix up some JB Weld, plaster the end of that. By the way, I don't want you all hating on Volkswagen, alright? I'm sure a lot of car manufacturers use plastic impellers on pumps. I mean, it's a used car. It has almost 200,000. It has 180, almost 180,000 miles on it. So I mean, it's up there in miles for one. The pump has lasted that long. So what this means is it's actually a perfect time to do the timing belt as well, which needs to be done. It's due for that. Because you're supposed to change them every like 80,000, I think. Now somehow I have to get the JB Weld pasted onto the end of that shaft. How am I gonna do that? With precision, I suppose. You guys are not going to be able to see. I'm really sorry. Oh yeah, this will work beautifully. I can already tell. Yeah, this is going to work. I just know this is going to work. Oh yeah. No question about it. This is going to... Oh boy. I'm so excited. Nice thing is that JB Weld is epoxy. And epoxy cures so fast when it's hot. So it's the perfect glue for impatient people. Put a hairdryer on it or a heat lamp, boom, it cures in like an hour. I don't know how fast the water pump really spins. Hopefully it doesn't spin super like mega fast, because if it spins super mega fast, it's going to probably be unbalanced and this JB Weld is going to come off. I think I should probably put some more on. I have a cut, on my finger, and it is getting filled with JB Weld. I wonder why. Alright, so you guys are gonna like this. So you can see right there, that's the impeller. Here's the housing and everything. I've shifted my car into high gear, let the parking brake out, so now you can actually see the impeller is moving. So I haven't glued the impeller to the housing, so that's good. Alright, so I'm being optimistic that this worked. It's in the morning because I wasn't going to be driving back to Pittsburgh at 2 in the morning. I just didn't want to do that. So, yeah. So, hopefully it worked. It's still raining, which is really annoying. And the glue also was not cured all the way last night, so I didn't really want to risk the glue failing. So, let's see. Still feels tacky. That's weird. Maybe it's my imagination. Alright, so let's see if the water pump is glued or not. So we'll push the car and yeah, it spins. That's good. I guess we put it back together. I think I'm going to put it back together without the thermostat, just to keep things a little bit cooler. So hopefully the water pump does not kill itself the rest of the way. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Looked a little bit online. It doesn't seem like it's super bad to run without a thermostat. The temperature will fluctuate and stuff like that. So doesn't seem like it's going to be detrimental to the engine, just reduced fuel economy. So now I know what all the black specks are through my coolant. Probably bits of the impeller. Alright, so I'm going to go start it up. Listen for any crunching sounds that sounds like a water pump destroying itself. Alright, so I've been driving about 20 minutes on the highway, and the temperature stays in that low, and my check engine light is on. That came on the other day when I hill started it for the fun of it. But yeah, the engine is certainly not warming up very much. And yes, I did run into a truck. Alright, well here's the water pump. Sorry I didn't take you guys along when I was actually taking it out of my car and replacing it. Because I gave my camera to my friend to borrow, so couldn't actually make a video of it. But you can see great gobs of JB Weld in it. So there's a big crack there, another crack over here. So yeah, this chip here was just because I think I dropped it, and it was kicking around in my trunk for a few days, so I think that's when that broke. But yeah, you can see that's actually really brittle. So yeah, that's really brittle. But this is like probably the original one. After a bit of closer inspection, you can actually see the little date stamp here. The little arrow is pointing right at 00, so 2000 was when this was manufactured. And my car is 2001, so yeah, this is the original made in Germany water pump. So it's time for it to be replaced. And you can also see how the JB Weld is all stained purple from the coolant. But it held up. It's still pretty hard. So the other thing is that this pulley here is actually grinding into the castings. So yeah, I'm not sure what's up with that, but yeah, I don't know. I also replaced the tensioner for the accessory belt, which doesn't really look like it needed to replace, but I replaced it anyway. And the timing belt and timing belt tensioner. So this timing belt has almost 100,000 on it, so it doesn't look that bad actually, but still a good time to replace it. So yep, hope you guys enjoyed. That's about it. Thanks for watching, and keep experimenting.